Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Another episode of the FitBod Blueprint. Once again, Phil and Tyler here. Tyler, how you doing today, brother?
Doing pretty good. It's a beautiful, sunny day to be turning 36.
Absolutely, man. Well, happy birthday, 36. I don't know if there's anything special that comes with 36, so
1 year closer to 40.
there we go.
Yeah.
You're officially closer to 40 than 30, I guess.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, man. So how's your week been going, man?
It's been pretty good. Just, lifting away, working, enjoying life. Can't complain at all. How about you?
I mean, pretty good, other than feeling a little down and out here for a couple of days. But what was cool for me to see, let's kind of circle back to your lifting, man. You're working towards a pretty badass goal. You wanna share with the listeners?
Yeah, so, I posted it in our Facebook group the other day and kind of mentioned how last, I'd say 3-4 years or so, no real goal to my lifting other than just enjoying it, wanting to look good. Always had goals, usually I was powerlifting or I was in bodybuilding. So there was always some other external goal. And I've always had it in the back of my mind of wanting to deadlift 500 or I guess 505, right? Like that'd be 6 plates aside even, right? It's like that five, whatever, right? So, but, programming never necessarily reflected that. So taking a dive into some Westside Barbell programming, utilizing that, and getting into some max effort days, getting into some dynamic effort days. And I mean, it's something completely new to me. When I last powerlifted, Dr. Mike Zordos, I know you know of him, but for those who may not, one of the best researchers in weightlifting and really made daily undulating periodization popular. The idea that you can do different sets and reps and intensities throughout the week and still make the similar types of gains with volume equated, right? And that's what I did a lot in the past where, I was squatting and deadlifting, 3 times a week, 2 times a week. So this is something brand new for me. I'm pretty excited for it, and we're really going to kind of see where things go. It's kind of almost like an experiment with myself. And I think that's one of the really cool things is the more that you do this, the more you kind of just start to experiment. Like I haven't, I still bounce off of ideas with Dr. Joe, another titan in this industry of, some of my programming and get his thoughts on things. But, this last year or so is the first time in 10, 12 years, I haven't really had someone do my programming for me. So it's been a lot of fun to kind of just experiment, see what works, see what doesn't work. And so I'm planning on documenting this journey a bit more through my Instagram, through my YouTube. I think especially as a dad with, full-time job, a kid, a toddler right now, another one on the way, and just kind of go, hey, you can just be a dad, enjoy lifting, and still get strong as hell and really chase your goals. And what does that look like? So, yeah, pretty excited to do this. And, it's kind of got me thinking, maybe I need to hop on the powerlifting platform again within the next year or so.
I mean, how many people thought you were about to say hop on the gas?
That's I've always said when I hit 50, I'm going out tan and jacked.
Tan, jack, and juicy.
Yeah.
No, awesome, man. No, that's really cool. I can't wait to see you hit that. 500, some big boy weight. So
yeah, the most I've ever done is 455. That was back in 2020, and it was in my garage the day before we essentially left for the hospital when Quinn was born. So that's kind of what I need to beat now, and then add another 50 pounds.
No, that's awesome, man. Dude, stoked for you. Always exciting to have some training goals.
Definitely.
So with that, we are back today with another round of Date, Marry, Eliminate. And I'm super stoked for this one. We're basically going to be fly guys, so we're going to be pretty fly for a white guy.
Baby.
We're going to be doing dumbbell incline fly, pec deck fly, and cable fly for chest fly movements. And then for shoulder fly movements, we are going dumbbell lateral, cable lateral, and band lateral raises. So we've got 3 movements, 3 fly movements for the chest, and 3 fly movements for the delts or shoulders. So let's go ahead and kick us off. So Tyler,
Yeah.
we'll start off with, you want to do shoulders first?
Yeah, let's do shoulders first.
Okay, so we'll do a little pre-exhaustion.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Good bodybuilding technique.
So dumbbell lateral, cable lateral, and band lateral raise, which one are you going to date?
I'm dating the cable lateral raise. Mainly, I find it kind of awkward, but I still enjoy it from time to time to maybe change things up a little bit. I know you can maybe do something behind the back. You get a little extra stretch there. The resistance profile, a little bit different than, say, like a dumbbell, but find out shortly which one I'm marrying in my absolute. I'll come back to this one occasionally, but I would say it's a late night call. Like, all right, hey, let's do a little cable lateral raise for a couple of sessions, and then we're heading back to my main piece.
Solid take. So for me, I want to first preface with this little asterisk of my date and my marry do not come out of my own programming. All year round, I have both of these in 52 weeks out of 52 weeks. My date is going to be the dumbbell lateral raise, actually.
Okay.
Really enjoy it. And I love doing different variations. Of course, you can do standing. I like doing kind of a high incline, slightly chest supported variant as well. My old power rack in Garage Mahal 3.0, as I called it, I had the pit bull pad that I attached onto the rack, so I could just get just enough of a forward lean that there was absolutely no cheating on it.
Yeah.
And that's part of why I like it, but I don't love it enough to marry it. This can go either way. For some people, this is why they want to marry it. I don't like that the bottom end of that the initial starting, the first like third, you're not really getting too much out of it. Like It's a lot of just you're getting some momentum going, and then you finally get the resistance from the third waypoint all the way going up. Again, I just don't like that very bottom end where there's not any real resistance there. And some people go, well, hey, that's a great opportunity to just go heavier. And yes, you're right. You can do the lower partials. I love this movement still. Like, I love it, but I don't love it enough to marry it, to have a family with it, to grow old and, be wiping the crust out of each other's eyes in our olden ages. So really do love the dumbbell lateral, but we're just going to date because I know my true love is around the corner.
I like that, and you know what? I think it is a really good point to make, and I think it kind of convinces me maybe I do need to add some cable lateral raises a little bit more into my programming. I think you may have just convinced me here to add that in a little bit more.
All right, so we're questioning now the date. So who did you commit to marrying?
The dumbbell lateral. But now I'm questioning it, right? Like, if someone's, they say, hey, stand up if anyone thinks they shouldn't be married. Phil just stood up and said, I don't know, guys. But yeah, I mean, I kind of for the reasons you stated. And part of it, though, is I like that challenge of really forcing yourself to not go too heavy, really aim to kind of pause at the top, like just, a brief, like little half a second, 1 second, and force yourself to not let the weights just drop and to really kind of control it. And so that's where I really like it. And I'll usually always have drop sets with it as well because I don't do a ton of shoulder work because of just the crossover with all my chest stuff. And so, to get an easy 6 hard sets in there, it's awesome to do, let's say 3 sets of 10 or whatever, and then just boom, 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 drop sets to failure. And then because there isn't a whole lot at the bottom, I find it just makes a really then fantastic exercise where you can kind of just go ham on those drop sets. And like, man, you get to like a 5-pound dumbbell for that last drop set, and it's like I can barely get 10 sometimes. And it's just like, this is only 5 pounds. And it looks great in the mirror. The pump is awesome. So that's definitely part of the reason too. I love the way things look. So that's going to be my Mary.
Yeah, that's a very, very solid take. And there's nothing wrong with marrying the dumbbell, but for me the bell of the ball is going to be the cable. And I think the number one mistake that people will make with the cable lateral raise is using the wrong attachment handle. And it's going to be a surprise. I don't use the metal D handle, I don't use the nylon D handle, and I don't grab by the rubber ball stop either. The close grip V handle that a lot of people use for rows, hook that on there, and whenever you turn that V handle on its side, if you stick your hand behind the top one, and then you've got that top portion of the handle braced against the lower forearm, you get such a better resistance profile out of it. You don't put pressure on your wrist. It stabilizes it really well. So you can just focus on smooth movement the entire way.
I like that. I've never thought of that.
One, yeah, and especially with this one, you grab onto that column and you do what I call the King Kong on top of the Empire State Building, where you get that little bit of extra lean.
Yeah.
And now you've increased the range of motion, whether it's going from the front, whether it's going from the back a little bit. I love these. To the point of, I have three. So I have a dedicated shoulder day, and I'm typically one to say let's do like upper lower type pairings for our programming, or let's do like push with pushing muscles all together, pulling muscles all together, lower body together. Like that's where the meat and potatoes of my program goes. But I still like having one dedicated, get a juicy shoulder pump day in there. And on that shoulder day, I'm hitting single arm lateral raises on the cable. I'm doing the cable cross behind my back.
Yep.
Lateral raise, so you can get a little more in the front, hit a little bit more of the front delt. Then with a bench set up in front of the functional trainer, using ankle cuffs on my wrist, doing the same thing. It's just a lateral raise crossover basically, because that's a really deep stretch, especially in that lower medial delt.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. I absolutely love it. So just from that alone, I've got 3 variations of lateral raise, and then I finish off with the dumbbell lateral raise. So just 4 variants of lateral raise. So whenever I say I love lateral raise for the shoulder, I will take that over a shoulder press any day of the week. My shoulders are too old for that.
Yeah.
So I love the cable lateral raise because of the versatility. And if we're just talking one specific one here, again, it's that single arm, use the V handle instead of a D handle. And I'm saying V as in Victor. Trust me, and I'm going to post this on my Instagram actually, so anybody listening that wants to see exactly what I'm talking about, pop over to my Instagram at Pirtle Coaching and you'll see it. So that's my Mary. That is my we're having a family. That is my, if she needs a kidney, I'm giving her a kidney. If she needs a liver transplant, take my liver. Whole 9 yards.
The whole 9 yards,
I'll live and die for that one.
Yeah, you know what? I'm definitely giving it a try then. And that's when a quick come back to like why I also love the dumbbell lateral raise. I can do 2 arms at once. It saves me time.
Hey, as long as you got a functional...
I can be a lazy lifter. If I can do even like a dumbbell hammer curl, right? I'm not going alternating. I'm going both at the same time. I'm going skiing here, right?
Yeah.
That's what I also like, but I do like the versatility and even the talk about that resistance profile and getting a little bit more of that stretch and going through a bit more of a range of motion. I'm going to go give it a try next time I'm doing shoulders.
Heck yeah, man. No, I love it. That's my Mary all day long. So then that brings us to eliminate, and I believe we've got the same one here.
Band lateral raises.
Look, it's not that they're
warm up.
Yeah, and you know what? If you're rehabbing from an injury, these should probably be your number one.
Or if that's what you have access to and that's all you can do, then fine. If something's better than nothing.
Right, 100%. I mean, if somebody says, this is all I've got, Cool. I've made far less equipment work. Like, we both were doing this through COVID. So bags of rice were part of people's shopping list, both for food
Some water.
yeah. Yeah, it was like, hey, grab a backpack, bags of rice, water, heavy cans, whatever. But the band lateral raise, it's just a matter of, it's a good resistance profile, but typically it's not enough resistance. And what I like is that it does get more challenging as you get to the top of the movement, but you can snap a band, especially if you've got cheaper ones. It can be kind of a pain in the butt to try to stand on it. So it's not that it's bad by any means. It's just, well, whenever you compare it to these other two, in my opinion, I'll take the other two. Again, this is, there are going to be people that absolutely love their bands, and that's great. But we're just guys that are going to take the dumbbells and the cables today.
Yeah. At the heart of it, we're just meatheads.
Amen. Amen. All right. So now we're going to move into chest fly. So we've done some pre-exhaustion. We ran through shoulder flies, chest flies. Tyler, who do you date?
Yeah. So it's kind of similar with you in how you have your marry and date always there. This is fairly similar to me between the two. But I first said I was going to marry my incline dumbbell fly because that is usually, like, it's just always there. It's a staple. I love it. But as I thought more about it, I really have a partial, like, just a good love for a pec deck fly. Just the way you can set it up, the stretch you can get, like, and I have pretty good, like, external like, coming back. So, like, I can go all the way back, right, without any issues whatsoever. And with the way, like, your back is set up with the pad, I can really get my scapula to, like, protract. You're, like, hugging a tree, and, like, just that squeeze at the top. I always think about squeezing a pen in between my chest, and just the amount of control. Like, I find it's a juicy pump. I can go always relatively heavy on it. The pec deck machines are always pretty smooth in their movement. It's just by far one of my favorite things to end a chest day with. Again, I'll use it for drop sets a lot because, again, it's just boom, 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 real quick and easy. You're getting a massive stretch to the chest. Great pump, and relatively, you're going to be pretty hard to injure yourself on it if you're doing it correctly. And of course, if you don't have any shoulder issues, but it's a great movement. It's just one of my favorites.
Okay, so that's the one that you're going to marry, right?
Sorry, we were doing date.
You know what? It's your birthday. If you want to start off with Mary, you can do it.
That was my ADHD kicking in. I lost the plot already, but yes, that is my Mary.
Okay, well, you know what? I'm gonna follow your lead here, and for my Mary, I'm going to pick your initial first choice, and that is the incline dumbbell fly. For me, this is one of those movements where it doesn't come out of my programming. I enjoy doing it a lot, and for me, it's the drive the elbows together that I get such a good. That's my best mind muscle connection for my pec. Squeezing together on a fly. I really enjoy this movement. I do have a history of a torn rotator cuff, so for me, this movement's very friendly on that shoulder. It allows me to strengthen it. It allows me to challenge it. I feel a great pump with it. I don't go super heavy. Like, I think the heaviest I'll go is to accommodate like an 8 to 12 rep range, but usually I'm keeping these in like the 12 to 15 rep range, kind of more like middle to the end of a workout, just kind of a quick little, hey, let me finish this bad boy out. That's going to be my Mary. Again, it doesn't come out of my programming on any given push day. Yeah. I love it. This is my favorite chest fly movement. So we got who we're marrying. Who are you dating?
All right. Got it. We're dating. I'm going with the incline fly. Again, like I said, it was really a toss-up between these two, and pretty much for the exact same reasons you said, is just a great mind and muscle connection. I like pairing it sometimes as a compound set with push-ups. So you're just really taxing the whole chest there. It's relatively friendly on the joints. It's easy to set up, and it's a great movement to have as a auxiliary exercise after like a main chest movement.
Yeah, that's a really solid take. And I'm also going to have had a change of heart. My date is going to now be the pec deck fly.
Hey.
So what I like about the pec deck fly is I do enjoy getting a good, kind of using it as almost like it's essentially my warm up / first like real working exercise that I'll do on most of my upper body, or if I'm doing a push day, like this is that first thing where I'm moving from some of my mobility work, maybe just a couple of body set exercises like push-ups, dips. What I do, so it took me a while to like the pec deck fly. That's my other thing. The gyms that were originally around me in my early 20s, they were you got your elbows at a 90 degree.
Yeah. Well,
and that, it was like,
it hurts.
I don't like it. I don't get that good of a pump. I feel it more in the rear delt. I feel it more in the shoulders. I didn't like it. But then once we started getting like Anytime Fitness and Crunch Fitness, the Gold's Gym here in Murfreesboro is phenomenal, actually. Yeah. So now that there's more of the ones where the arms are kind of articulating and you can actually get a good control over the path, and it's not just that fixed path of the elbows together, arms bent at 90. I do really like it, but I also found kind of my key for it is I've got to put my butt as far forward on the seat as possible to almost mimic a bit of an inclined angle.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And whenever I do that and I just really drive the scapulas into that back pad as hard as I can get a really good connection. Again, just the cue of elbows together, squeeze a pencil between your pecs. I get a good stretch. I get a good bit of activation out of this. I like starting my workouts with the pec deck fly. And in fact, that's something that a lot of my clients will tell you is that is a regular thing that I have people do. It's getting the chest activated. It's getting a little bit of shoulder stretch. Like I love doing that before going into anything heavy.
Yeah.
So that's my date. My only real complaint with it does stem back to some gyms still have the old school elbows are bent at 90 degree. Because like you said, they're all pretty smooth. They almost all use the exact same pulley setups.
Yeah.
So unless you've got one that like maybe it's more of like a rubber belt driven instead of a traditional plastic wrapped cable, like you might have one where it's like fraying a little bit and maybe has a wonky spot, but I do like that it's a good, solid, predictable machine. And it's not like the cable stacks on the like, I call it the jungle gym, where it's usually like the 8-point station or whatever. It's not like that where, hey, if it's the adjustable cable, it's probably on a 4-to-1 pulley ratio versus like the overhead ones, more of like a 1-to-1 or a 1-to-2 maybe. These are going to be pretty predictable. If you go from a Star Trek brand to a hoist to a Precor, pretty much 100 pounds on one of these fly machines is going to feel like 100 pounds on the other. I do like that. So that wraps up the date, and now leaving eliminate. And once again, we are in alignment on this one for cable fly.
Yeah, and it's not that I don't like the cable fly. I've used it plenty of times. I enjoy it. I think, kind of, again, like with the cable lateral raise, there's so much variation, right? You can do a bent over, you can do a high to low, a low to high. You can get like a bench, put it at an incline, do an incline chest fly. And so but if we're being forced to choose here, I'm taking those two just over this one because of all the reasons we stated. Not that I think it's bad by any means. I think it's a fantastic opportunity. Maybe the biggest negative of it is sometimes most gyms might only have one cable, thing, at least with the gyms where I'm at, and usually it's always taken up, and so it's just hard to actually do a lot of the times, especially if a gym is busy. which I know a lot of times with my clients, if they're training in that 5, 6 o'clock hour, the gym's packed, and you're always going to have those broccoli-haired kids on those cable machines doing those flies.
The Pat
And
Mahomes
so,
Juniors.
yeah, and so that is, for me, the biggest reason. Yeah, I still think they're fantastic, but, gun to my head, that's the one I'm eliminating.
I agree for very similar reasons. I'll add one more reason though. The cable fly can be really hard to progressively overload with more weight, especially if you think about the only exception to this is like the free motion functional trainer where it's got the dual stacks and the dual pivoting arms, because those typically will have a 5 pound increment that you can move up on. Versus if you're just going to the 8 point where it's got the lat pull down across from the row and you've got the pulleys that are adjustable heights up and down. If you're on those pulleys that are adjustable, typically they're a 10, or I've also seen gyms where, because it's maybe more kilo based, it's closer to more like a 15-pound jump whenever we convert it to freedom fractions. And if you think about doing a cable fly, a 10-pound jump per arm is a lot. I would never go from doing 40 pounds on a dumbbell incline fly to trying to bump up to 50. No, I'm going to go to the 45s for the in-between. Yeah. You need that overload. 5 pounds each arm on that movement where you are getting a deep stretch. That's an appropriate jump. 10 pounds though, I don't love that. So again, it's not that this is a bad exercise. Every exercise has its point, and I know we make this a point to re-mention it because I don't want somebody to ever come back to me and go, well, you said that this is a bad exercise. No, every exercise has its purpose.
Yeah.
Every exercise done with the right form, done with the right mind connection, you're going to get benefit from doing it. Doesn't matter what it is. But for me, if I'm thinking about simplicity in my program, what do I enjoy? What can I keep in my program? Because I hate program hopping. I maybe change my program halfway through the year.
Yeah.
I'm a creature of habit. I enjoy knowing this is what I'm doing. I'm going to go in. I'm going to get the work done. Boom, boom, boom. The cable fly is the one that I would have to swap out probably after about 2 to 3 months.
Yeah.
And then what am I swapping it for? Some type of a dumbbell fly, or I'm going to just do a couple more sets of pec deck.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, one little trick there, if you are doing a cable fly and the stacks are bigger jumps, if you have like the little pins that go in, if they're they have that little round thing, what I'll do is I'll grab a 2.5 pound plate or whatever, a 5 pound plate, and I'll just then put it over the pin and then put the pin in, so you can at least then have some smaller progressions there. And so that's a fantastic little trick for people where maybe we can't do the 10-pound jump. Go grab a plate, put it in there, and then you can still make those little micro progressions.
Yeah, or if your gym does have the little rubberized weights that kind of sit on top of the stack that you can add on, because I also see more and more gyms are switching to the little selector switch for their stacks, and it's a minor thing, and I understand why from a maintenance perspective, because you get people that smash the pins between the weights.
Yeah.
But man, I hate having that option taken away from me of I can't put the 2.5 or the 5 pound over the pin head. They do make a product called the Gym Pin, PIN, and you can pop on Amazon and you can pick one up where it essentially is the end of an Olympic sleeve with the pin that goes into the weight stack for the exact one that Tyler and I are talking about. The nice thing there is you could theoretically add a 45-pound plate to it, so you could have the original pin set at the very bottom of the stack on the heaviest weight, and then you could put the gym pin middle of the stack, and you could go as high as a 45-pounder in theory. But if you're doing that much on a cable fly,
I was gonna say, you're either doing it very wrong, which I've seen, or two, you're just too strong for the gym. Time to find a new gym or a different exercise.
you've already won. You are already the fittest, most fit person ever. Just stop. Just
stop lifting.
Please, for my ego, stop lifting.
Yeah.
All right. So, my random question, Tyler.
Yes.
Would you rather have the ability to pause time for 10 seconds once a day, or once a week, you could rewind time by 10 seconds?
So I can either pause time or rewind it by just 10 seconds?
You can pause it once a day for 10 seconds. So you can pause it, do whatever you need to do for 10 seconds.
Yeah.
You could do that once a day, or once a week, you can rewind time by 10 seconds.
I don't know. I would probably go with rewind, because if I say something dumb, or, can at least quick, but like, when do you use it, right? Like, if it's Monday, I'm like, oh shoot, like that's my one for the week. I got to be careful for the rest of the week. I'd probably go rewind. I'd still go rewind though.
Yeah, I think I got to go the same one. And my thought process, so I was going to go back to like, man, in the event that I'm ever in like a car accident, if I could rewind it by 10 seconds and just prevent it and not have all that to deal with, that'd be awesome. Or if I ever injure myself, to be like, nope, back it up.
Yeah,
10 seconds, stop the rep, I'm good.
But now you're running into a final destination scenario. What if, like, death is like, sorry, bro, like I'm still coming for you. Now you got to fight death for 10 movies.
I mean, that is true. We're both millennials. We're just a couple months apart.
Right.
I'm pretty sure neither one of us drive behind logging trucks.
No, every time now. I saw a meme about that the other day, and it's like, that movie forever ruined a generation of like driving by a logging truck. And for me as well, it was like saunas. That, or whatever, I think it was a sauna they were in, and it got locked and the heat turned up. That also kind of like freaks me out a little bit too.
And that's why I like my collapsible one. I'm like, I can rip through this thing. Just total Kool-Aid man if I have to.
Yeah.
And I realized my childhood icons both have the catchphrase of, oh yeah, Macho Man Randy Savage and the Kool-Aid Man.
Yep. It's iconic.
It is. All right. That is all for today's episode. As always, thank you very mucho for listening, and we will catch you all on the next one. Bye.